All right, everybody. Well, we're going to get started with tonight's session. I want to be respectful of your time. It's the top of the hour, and I want to start by saying thank you to everybody for joining us this evening. We truly appreciate your time. We know that you have a lot on your schedule and that your time is valuable, and the fact that you're giving it to us means a lot to us. You're here to hear about the academic programs and support services that are available at Montana State University. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through some kind of general information about our academic colleges and degree programs, and then dive into some of the support services that we have at the university. So before we get going with the overall session this evening, I do want to take a minute to detail some technical information for tonight's webinar. So if you see me talking but don't hear me talking, if you're having any audio issues, you can actually call into the webinar using either of the two phone numbers that you see on the screen there, whether that's the toll-free or the toll line, and use the access code that you see posted on the screen there. If you are running into any sort of troubles, we will be recording tonight's session and posting it to the Webinar Wednesday website, which you'll also see posted on the screen there. We post our videos each day following our sessions, and so this recording will go up tomorrow. And so if you weren't able to attend the whole session, if you missed something, if you just want to go back and pick out bits and pieces of specific information covered, you can always watch the recordings, and we'll be happy to help answer any questions down the line that you might have. So again, if you can't hear me, if you're having any audio issues, please feel free to call into either of those lines and use the access code that's provided. Also, in addition to that, I do want to make note of the chat feature that we have for tonight's webinar. We have our wonderful admissions counselors on staff and on hand that are here to help answer questions. So anything that you have, what I find generally is that if you have a question, somebody else in the group has that question as well, whether they know it or not. And so please feel free to ask those questions, and our admissions counselors will be able to send along links, answer questions, and get you any information that you are looking for to help get you the most out of tonight's webinar offering. So now, that's an overview of tonight's technical side of things. Now, this is who I am. My name is Anders Groseth, and I work for Montana State University, and specifically for our Office of Admissions, as our Associate Director of Recruitment. I am born and raised here in Bozeman. I grew up just a couple of blocks from our campus, and then I attended Montana State University. I spent 4 years here as an undergraduate. I graduated a little while ago now in 2008 with a liberal studies degree, and then I've been working for the Office of Admissions ever since I graduated. And so it's provided me this wonderful opportunity to live and learn as a student, and then really have this nice experience of watching the university develop over the last several years into being the university that has landed on your radar and why you're interested in us. So that's a little bit about me. You can see down there, I'm an avid Bobcat fan. You can see my dad and I at a football game. He's dressed like a dad, as you can see, but I'm actually the one who looks more ridiculous in that picture in the bottom right. So for you parent and family members, we really appreciate you taking some time to join in with us as well. The parent-family process is one that never ends. As you can see, I'm still going to football games with my dad. So that's who I am, but let's cover what we're going to do tonight. So an overview of tonight's presentation. What we're going to do is I'm going to take some time to run through each of Montana State University's academic colleges and offer some insight into the departments and degrees within each of them. Then from there, after we cover the academic opportunities, I want to talk about academic advising at Montana State University. Now, academic advising is not the most exciting thing to talk about, but as a student, you need to understand this is vitally important to how MSU sets you up for success academically throughout your entire college career. And so I want to talk about some of the things that we do with academic advising that really puts students in place to succeed both inside and outside of the classroom. From there, to continue that conversation about your success, I'm going to talk about some of the academic support services and resources that we have at the university, different offices, entities, help centers, and individuals that will help you make sure that you are on your path towards degree from the very first day all the way until you walk across that stage and receive your diploma at the end. And then at the very end of tonight's session, we're going to take some time for question and answer. Again, our admissions counselors are available on the chat all throughout tonight, so feel free to engage with them and ask them questions, and they'll get you information. But then at the end of tonight's session, I'll take some time to answer some of those questions in live time. Some of the most common questions, maybe some of the most pertinent questions, I'll take some time to answer those to the best of my ability. So that's a little bit about tonight's session. Before we get into the academic colleges, I want to tell you a little bit about who we are in regards to our style of education. Now, for the students that are tuning in tonight, how many of you, be honest with yourselves, love textbook style education? That's where you thrive. I'm sure not that many of you are raising your hands right now. And that's okay, because that's not a lot of what we do at Montana State University. We have a unique approach to your academic experience at Montana State that we feel helps you be the best student that you can be while you're here and really sets you up for a fluid success and transition away from Montana State University when you graduate. It's all built on a research-based education. So at Montana State University, we are very fortunate to have been recognized by this thing called the Carnegie Foundation, which is an institute that sort of assesses the strengths and highlights of universities and colleges from across the country. And the Carnegie Foundation has identified Montana State University as one of 146 schools nationwide that is an R1 institution. That means that we're an institution that has very high research activity. In fact, last year, we exceeded and set a new record for our research expenditure. We spent over $200 million on student research opportunities at Montana State University in the last academic year. Now, what does that mean for you as a student? Well, what that means is that you are an active participant in your academic experience. We don't want students to just bury themselves in textbooks for 4 years and then throw down whatever you read on an essay or on an exam. But we want you to get your fingernails dirty. We want you to have your hands on your education as early and as often as possible. And so no matter what degree program you end up pursuing through Montana State, every single option that we offer has either a research or a creative experience built into your curriculum. Research is something that is not encouraged at Montana State, it is required. Generally speaking, the information that you read out of textbooks is information we already know. That's how it ended up in a textbook. The whole reason that you want to go to college is to learn what we don't know yet. How can you progress your field of study forward? And so that's why we have this more tactile approach to education. A, because we think you're going to enjoy it more being an active participant, but B, we're going to help get your wheels moving in the right direction for what you want your career path to be. We're going to give you credit to do it initially. Eventually, you're going to earn a paycheck doing those things. And so that's just sort of unique about who we are, is that the whole style of education is based on your interests, your passions, and what you want to pursue academically. So what that means for you is that research is individualized for your interests. Now, when I was an entering college student, when I thought about research, when I kept hearing MSU talk about research, what popped into my mind was lab coats and Bunsen burners and chemistry labs, and that's not what I was interested in. That's okay. Every student has a research or creative experience that is individualized to them. And so on this screen, you can see some of these different opportunities. Maybe you want to work in a lab that maybe you part of MSU's NASA Space Grant Consortium, which has launched satellites with NASA that are still orbiting the world today. Maybe you want to work in environmental resources or natural habitat ecology, where you're measuring water purity and the sustainability of habitats for our fish and wildlife across Montana. Or maybe in that top right-hand picture, you're a creative arts students. This is a group of our senior architecture students from a couple years ago, and their senior design project was to design tiny homes for low-income families in the Bozeman community, having a direct impact on this community that we get to call home. So it's not cookie cutter. It's going to be based on what you are most interested in and how you want to push your field forward. Again, that's what's going to make you the best and most valuable student while you're here and get you ready for your career when you're ready to leave Montana State. Research-based education. Now, as we start to transition to talk about the academic colleges and departments at Montana State, I thought it would be valuable to take a little bit of time to give you a very broad overview of the entire academic structure of Montana State University. At MSU, we have 8 different academic colleges that house more than 250 different degree programs. Now, sometimes students aren't familiar with the structure of a university, and so I want to take some time to explain this a little bit. If you want to think at the very top of the funnel, you're at Montana State University. When you take one step in from there, you're in your academic college, And within that academic college, you're going to choose your major and your major option. That's how we go from being this large scale university down to the granular level of you as an individual student. You're not lost in the mix, but this is your thumbprint experience. And so on this screen right here, we've listed out all of our different academic colleges so you can see how many students are in each of them. And so you'll see our College of Agriculture, Arts and Architecture, Business and Entrepreneurship, the College of Education, Health and Human Development, Engineering, Letters and Science, and Nursing. In addition to those, we also offer an undeclared option called University Studies for students that haven't landed on a specific major yet. We have Gallatin College, which is MSU and Bozeman's Community College, offering 1- and 2-year certificate programs. And then in that little graphic that you see up in the right-hand corner, you'll see the Honors College mentioned. And I'll take some time to explain each of these, but the Honors College is an interdisciplinary additional academic opportunity that is available for students entering or currently enrolled at Montana State University. So that's just a little bit about the structure, again, going from Montana State University as a whole down to your degree and program specifically. Now, we're going to talk about each of these different academic colleges directly. And I'm going to start with how we started, the College of Agriculture. This is our foundational program at Montana State University. In 1893, when we first opened our doors, we were actually known as the Montana College for Agriculture and Mechanical Arts. We did one thing, and that was agriculture. Over the years, we've expanded our opportunities to now offering more than 250 different degree programs. But when we only did one thing, we were really good at it, and that's agriculture. Montana State University is founded as the state of Montana's land grant institution, which doesn't necessarily mean what it used to, but what that originally meant was that we were to provide educational opportunities to serve the industries and the sons and daughters of the state of Montana. And at that point in time, agriculture was king in our state, and so that is truly still the backbone of our university. Now, when you look into the academic opportunities through our College of Agriculture, what you're going to find is that it's sort of an interesting college in that some degree programs are very traditionally agriculture. We're talking about farm and ranch land management. We're talking about ag business and ag education, natural resources. Those are College of Agriculture programs that you can find all across the country. However, we also have a very progressive approach to agriculture, finding degree programs like sustainable foods, bioenergy systems, and biotechnology. What we're really trying to be is the best stewards of the land of Montana as possible. We're paying a lot of attention to where agriculture has come from, but we're also having a keen eye on where agriculture is going so that we can set this state up for a sustainable future and supporting an industry that still remains so important as agriculture is. Another thing that catches a lot of students off guard is one thing that you'll see listed out here is pre-med is actually a part of our College of Agriculture. Our microbiology and cell biology department is really rooted in agriculture, but it does provide some of the pre-med opportunities. And so that does catch some students off guard when they're looking for degree programs. And you might be wondering, hey, I want to do pre-med. How am I in the College of Agriculture? For us, that makes sense because it's all about microbiology, cell biology, and immunology, which are the key components of that pre-med degree. Now, moving on from our College of Agriculture, the next college that you're going to find is our College of Arts and Architecture. This is more the progressive style of our campus. We have 4 academic schools that sponsor 11 different degree programs in our College of Agriculture. Our College of Arts and Architecture, I apologize. Now, with these colleges, what you're going to find is that we have a School of Architecture, Art, Film and Photography, and Music. The architecture program is a hugely unique degree program at Montana State University in that it is designed as a 5-year master's program. You'll see that the option listed underneath architecture is listed out as environmental design. That's your undergraduate degree. Your graduate degree would be your architecture degree. And to be perfectly honest with you, you need to have a graduate or a master's degree in architecture if you ever want to make any money in the industry. And so what we have done is designed a 5-year master's program where a student has an opportunity to declare going into their senior year that they're going to pursue that 5th year. And so it's consolidated. So after a total of 5 years, you leave with both your undergraduate and your professional degree. In the School of Art, you're going to find the only professional 4-year graphic design program in the state of Montana, along with degree programs on the creative side of things like painting, sculpting, ceramics, and drawing. And then in our School of Film and Photography, we offer both specific degrees in film and photography, and then sort of a hybrid degree between the two with integrated lens-based media. And then with our School of Music, we're going to have music, which is both performance and composition based, music education, and then music technology, which is another unique degree option, which is essentially sound engineering. It's the digital creation of music, it's the manipulation of sound, and kind of the producing or being in the studio side of things. In addition to these schools within the College of Arts and Architecture, there is another opportunity that's listed out there, and it's not an academic opportunity, but our College of Arts and Architecture is who sponsors the Montana Shakespeare in the Parks program. This is a program that brings arts and culture to both urban and rural communities across the state of Montana, building an identification and an affinity to the arts all across our state. And so we're very proud that we're the host school, the host program for Montana Shakespeare in the Parks, and the impact that it's had on that again, affinity for arts all across the state of Montana. Moving on from our College of Arts and Architecture, the next college that we have is the Jake Jabs College of Business and Entrepreneurship. This is a unique degree program because it is one degree program. The entire College of Business and Entrepreneurship offers one degree, which is a Bachelor's of Science in Business, that breaks down into 4 different degree options. Now, before I talk about those degree options, I want to talk about what we're looking at on the screen right here. This is Jabs Hall. This is home base for our College of Business students. And Jabs Hall was made possible through a very generous alumni donation through Mr. Jake Jabs, who's an MSU graduate. He, in 2014, donated $50 million to the College of Business so that they could have their own place. And interestingly, this has had ripple effects on the entire academic structure of the university, but this is truly one of the highlight facilities that we have at the university. Now, diving into the degree programs, I mentioned that the College of Business offers one degree, the Bachelor's of Science in Business. Right from the very get-go, that is a little bit unique. Many colleges of business across the country provide a Bachelor's of Arts in Business. Ours is a Bachelor's of Science in Business. It's more formulaic and numeric based and backed. And so in that College of Business degree, you have the options of accounting, finance, management, and marketing. And so you don't have to do just something general in business, but depending on what your passions are, you can get really, again, individualized or granular into any one of those 4 options that's of most interest for you. We also offer some very popular minor options in the Jake Jabs College of Business and Entrepreneurship. And then the certificate programs listed there at the bottom of the screen, those are unique in that they are not available for business students. Those are business certificates that are only available for students pursuing a degree in something else at the university. So maybe you're working in engineering, or maybe you're pursuing a degree in health sciences. This will provide you an opportunity to take several different business courses and receive recognition for the business courses that you've taken by earning one of these certificates in either business or in entrepreneurship to, again, enhance and supplement your overall academic experience. The next college that we have is our College of Education, Health, and Human Development. Now, this is sort of a split college if you want to think about it like that, in that on one side of things, we offer the education programs at both the elementary and secondary levels, and then we offer our Health and Human Development programs, which I'll detail for you here. So, College of Education, Health, and Human Development, we have both education in elementary, secondary, and an elementary education or early childhood education with a P through 3 option. And that's for students that are interested in pursuing the opportunities of preschool through 3rd grade. Now, one thing that's really a nice benefit for our education students is that we are still a small enough university and have built very lasting relationships with the surrounding area schools that we still provide students what's called a practicum experience. And what the practicum experience means is that our students in education will receive right around 150 hours of in-classroom observation time before they do their student teaching. It's 150 hours that you can watch teachers teach and instructors instruct and pick up tips and tricks throughout, and then utilize them once you're in your student teaching and then eventually in your own classroom teaching models. And so we feel like this is a great way, kind of stepping stool way you're into that career where first you'll observe, then you'll do co-teaching methods as a student teacher, then eventually be a teacher in your own classroom. When it comes to the health and human development side of things, this is really some of the most active learning that we have on our campus. That opening picture that was on the slide for this college is our exercise science lab, where we study human movement. Kinesiology and exercise science are two very popular degree options within the department as a whole that help study the art of movement, whether that's through athletes, and it's what helps students move on into career fields such as physical therapy, muscle rehabilitation programs, personal athletic training, a lot of things along those lines. And in addition to those opportunities, there's degree programs in things like community health, so that you can help shape the health initiatives of the community that you live in, sustainable foods and bioenergy systems, and even food nutrition and the sciences incorporated with them. The next college is the Norm Asbjornson College of Engineering. Now, it's my opinion that no matter where you are across the country, if you picked somebody off the street and asked them, what do you know about Montana State University? Most likely it's going to be engineering. I think it is without a doubt our most well-recognized program and one of the most successful programs that we offer at the university. It's huge. There's 5 departments and 14 different degree programs that are all listed out here. So you'll see chemical and biological engineering, civil, electrical and computer engineering, the Gianforte School of Computing, and the mechanical and industrial engineering options. Now, this is a college that again has a lot of good momentum. They just opened Asbjornson Hall in 2018, which is one of our newest academic centers. And then the Gianforte School of Computing is about to break ground on a brand new building, which will end up being the 5th academic center for our College of Engineering in the long run. So a lot of good degree programs here. The graduates out of our College of Engineering have tended to be the most highly paid graduates and sought after graduates that we produce from the university. Next up, we have our largest college at Montana State, which is going to be our College of Letters and Sciences. Now, it is the largest college, and they sort of cheat their way into that. They have 14 different departments, 45 different specific degree programs, and 6 different interdisciplinary degree programs. Now, this picture is sort of a fun story. Several years ago, some of our students from the Earth Sciences department, geology specifically, were having the opportunity to summit Mount Everest and actually be one of the first universities or groups of students to accurately measure its height. A lot of times Mount Everest is measured with the snowpack, and our students went up to actually measure what is the height of Mount Everest as a whole with faculty members from the Earth Sciences department. And as you can see on the picture, there's our MSU Bobcat flag, which is still at base camp, which is a pretty unique honor to have, and a kind of a fun badge of honor for the university faculty, staff, and students. Now, there are so many different degree programs in our College of Letters and Sciences that we sort of split it out in terms of the way that we speak about it. First, you're going to have our degree programs and departments focusing on the humanities and social sciences. This is where you're going to find history, English, philosophy, the modern languages and literatures, political science, psychology, and sociology. More of that humanities and social sciences base and all of the different degree programs within them. Now, as you look on this, you're going to see that there's several teaching options, the history teaching major, possibly some of the teaching options in the modern languages and literatures. That's those interdisciplinary programs where you can be pursuing that history degree, but taking education classes through the College of Education, Health, and Human Development at the same time. This is also where you would find our liberal studies program, which is a very interdisciplinary program that really combines a lot of the different degrees and allows a student to kind of tailor fit their own degree program at the university. Next up, we have our departments in the mathematics and natural sciences. This is where you're going to find our hard sciences, things like chemistry and biochemistry, those earth sciences students that went to Everest that I mentioned just a little bit ago, ecology, applied mathematics, physics, and so on. And so you can see there is so many different degree programs and opportunities that's why we split those out when you think about the College of Letters and Science into humanities and social sciences, and then the mathematics and natural sciences on the same side. The next up is going to go from our largest college in terms of degree options to our smallest college in terms of degree options, our College of Nursing. Now, the Mark and Robin Jones College of Nursing only offers one degree, and it's a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, so there's no big shocker there. But what's unique about this degree program is what's listed at the bottom of your screen there is that we have one degree and 5 campuses. The way that our curriculum is designed at Montana State is that students will spend their first 2 years in the College of Nursing on our campus here in Bozeman. You're working in the nursing facility that has simulation labs. You're working with our faculty members, 100% of whom are either current or former registered nurses, so really know the ins and outs of that profession. But then once you go into your upper division credits, your junior and senior year, you are placed into one of 5 hospitals across the state of Montana. They're the 5 largest healthcare facilities in our state, located in Bozeman, Billings, Great Falls, Missoula, and Kalispell. For these 2 years, you essentially have an immersive, built-in internship or clinical experience where for 2 years it's hands-on learning. That's that research that I was talking about earlier. You're going on rounds with nurses, you're interacting with patients, you're working with doctors, so that by the time you graduate, you've seen a lot of the things that you'll see again when you're earning your paycheck, but you've just been earning credit to do it in the meantime. So the reason that this is really one of the most exciting things that's happened at Montana State University recently is the Mark and Robin Jones component of this College of Nursing. Mark and Robin Jones are a family that live in Montana, and about 18 months ago, in the fall semester of 2021, Mark and Robin Jones made a donation to Montana State University College of Nursing of $101 million. It's the largest private donation that's ever been offered in the state of Montana, and it's the largest donation that's ever been made to any College of Nursing anywhere in the world. What we are going to be doing with that money is that at each of these healthcare facilities across the state, there is now going to be a specific MSU College of Nursing building on those healthcare campuses. So this is going to be an additional support service for our students all across the state of Montana to continue their education and enhance their academic experiences. In addition to the actual buildings, the rest of that money is going to be going towards student scholarships and the development of a midwifery program, which is going to be the College of Nursing's second degree program, which we expect to launch this upcoming fall semester. Very excited about that. So students, use that as an example. If you've noticed, the Jake Jabs College of Business and Entrepreneurship, the Norm Asbjornson College of Engineering, and the Mark and Robin Jones College of Nursing, if you ever choose to give us like ballpark $25 million, we'll put your name on things and we will name things after you. I promise you that. So as we move away from our specific academic colleges, I want to talk about some unique academic opportunities that are available at Montana State University that are not specific degree programs, but additional academic experiences that can enhance and supplement your experiences throughout your college career. The first of which I want to talk about is university studies. University studies is an opportunity for students who maybe haven't landed on a specific major yet. Maybe you don't know what you want to study. Maybe you're trying to whittle down your options from 2 or 3 different options to one in specific. Or maybe you're like me, and when you get to the university, you really don't know what's available and what you're interested in. That's okay with us. As you can see on the screen there, each year we see that about 10 to 15% of our entering freshmen choose to not declare a major to start their college career. This is an exploratory opportunity in which you'll work with academic advisors who will gauge your interests and have conversations with you about what your long-term goals are, and then help you identify classes that will help you get a feel for different degree programs as you narrow in on your search to make the most informed decision, the one that's best for you academically. And so this does not mean that you're going to be here longer. It doesn't mean that you're wasting your scholarship money or that you're going to be graduating with a different class of students than who you started with. In fact, university studies students still maintain a track towards a 4-year degree program. For myself personally, I actually didn't declare a major until I was going into my junior year here at Montana State, but I still graduated in 4 years. And so you can take myself as testament. If I can do it, I promise you, you can do it. And so university studies, I think, helps alleviate some of the pressure of students who might not know specifically what they want to do. That is absolutely fine, and university studies will help guide your way towards landing at the perfect degree program for the rest of your college career, whether that's after a semester or after a couple years like I did. The next thing that I want to talk about is MSU's Honors College. Now, this is a hugely unique academic experience that is sort of an additional academic experience. If you want to think about the structure of MSU's Honors College, it sort of provides students with a liberal arts style of education in the midst of MSU's larger scale, more research-based university. It's hugely interdisciplinary in that when you are in your honors classes, if you're a student in agriculture, you're not just taking agriculture honors classes, but you'll be taking honors classes sitting next to the student from business management and the nursing student and the student from agriculture as well. It's really this good way for students to kind of get an understanding or keep a beat on what everything that is going on at the university is academically. The biggest benefit that I see to MSU's Honors College is that it is a fully accredited academic college. That means that if a student throughout their time at Montana State earns a minimum of 16 credits through the Honors College, they will have earned an honors degree in addition to whatever their primary major or degree program is. And so if you take those 16 credits at the end of your 4 years, you will receive your honors diploma and your elementary education or earth sciences or philosophy diploma, whatever it is that you choose to study, without taking any extra classes. You're just taking classes that weren't available to somebody like me who wasn't an honors student. Now, the Honors College does require a separate application, so I've put their website up on the screen here where you can find the application. They do require a letter of recommendation to be submitted as well, but the curriculum is designed such that if you choose not to pursue honors right when you start at Montana State University, you haven't missed the opportunity. Students can apply into the Honors College as late as the second semester of your sophomore year, and you will still have enough time to earn those 16 credits or more to earn that honors diploma, that honors degree. And so if you're a student who chooses to get here, make sure that your college career is off on the right foot and then pursue honors as an opportunity. That's okay. You can apply into the Honors College throughout your freshman year or into your sophomore year. But if you're a student who's that high achieving student who thinks that this might be a good fit for you, you're inquisitive, you're tactile, and you like the process of learning, you can start into the Honors College as early as your first semester of freshman year. Next up are our pre-professional programs at Montana State University. Now, our pre-professional programs are not degree programs. They're not majors. But if you want to think about it like this, they're more advising tracks. We offer pre-professional opportunities in pre-med or pre-health, pre-law, and pre-veterinary sciences. The way that these advising tracks are structured is that they are not major specific, and so you can major in anything that you want to at the university and be pursuing these opportunities to keep your long-term goals of med school, law school, or veterinary school on the back burner, essentially. The reason that we don't tie them to a specific major is, again, it's about your motivations. If you are motivated by, let's say, a business management or an English program, that doesn't mean that you might not want to go to med school in the long run. So you would take the pre-med coursework and work with pre-med advisors throughout your 4 years at Montana State to make sure that if you do end up applying to any professional program of those 3 different options, med, vet, or law, then your advisors will help you through the process of preparing for your entrance exams, getting ready for your interviews, working through the application process so that in addition to your 4-year degree, you're receiving that support through your health professions or pre-law or pre-vet advisors to make sure that you have that balanced university experience and the support that you need. They do supply a substantial amount of flexibility in choosing a major, and those professional programs remain an option even if one specific area of study isn't what you want to do as an undergraduate student. And so again, I encourage students to look into this if those long-term goals of a professional program in med, veterinary sciences, or law are something that you're interested in. These are wonderful opportunities to pursue those tracks, essentially. Next, I wanted to mention this slide as well. So some of the links that I've put in, and I know I went through some of those academic colleges and departments and degree programs rather quickly. This is where you can do your own homework on what we have to offer. On the URL that's posted on the screen there, you will find our Explore Academics page, where you can look into any academic areas of study that we have to offer based on keywords. And so what we found over the years is that sometimes degree programs are called different things in different places. Or maybe you have an interest, but you don't know what that interest would be called academically. With our Explore Academics page, it lets you utilize keywords. So if you want to think about medicine, you can type in medicine and it will show you things like cell biology and neuroscience in our pre-med track. If you're interested in using the word finance, it would show you our finance degree through the Jake Jabs College of Business and Entrepreneurship, as well as financial engineering through the Norm Asbjornson College of Engineering. And so you can utilize keywords, your interests essentially, to then have us help you find what degrees we offer and which of them might be the best fit for you. So I would encourage you to, if you haven't found what's right for you at Montana State, or if you're just new to MSU and don't know what we have to offer, this is a great place to start your exploration in terms of what other opportunities academically we have. Next up, I want to talk about academic advising. Again, I said this earlier, academic advising might not seem like the most exciting thing, but you have no idea how vitally important it is to your success at MSU. It is one of the things that we tend to do differently from some of the other schools that you'll interact with throughout your college search and decision process. At MSU, we really value a teamwork or a partnership relationship. And so with academic advising, no matter what you study at MSU, what your college is, what your degree program or your option is, you will be given an academic advisor who is specifically from your department, and you will meet with that academic advisor at least once every single semester that you're here. In fact, we don't let you register for your classes for the following semester until you've met with your academic advisor. They'll give you a registration code. It's about that teamwork and partnership relationship. So we actually have an academic advising contract or syllabus that we cover with our students at their new student orientation so that you as a student know what your responsibilities are. How do you track down your academic advisor? How do you schedule an appointment? How do you make sure that you're holding up your end of the deal, not in terms of your academic coursework, but your curriculum work and making sure that you're progressing towards your degree? Then that academic advisor will help identify what courses you still have outstanding, which of the degree requirements you've already completed, and help identify the courses that you need to move forward towards graduation in the long run. And so that individual approach, the one-on-one individual conversations that you'll have at least 8 times throughout your college career, if you think about 8 semesters in 4 years, that builds this relationship that helps your academic advisor get to know you as a person. And I think that that goes a long way in terms of them helping you as a student so that you can succeed academically. So again, on a base level, academic advising might not seem like a fireworks show, but it is really what sets students up for success freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, and moving towards graduation as well. That partnership that you'll have with your academic advisor. Next up, I wanted to talk about some of the academic support, services, and resources. So our departmental help centers, I just listed out a couple of them here. When I was putting together this slideshow, I just did a quick search on the montana.edu website. I typed in help centers, and immediately my page was flooded with engineering mechanics, chemistry, physics, accounting, and so many more. Academic departments set up help centers so that students who maybe are struggling in a class or maybe looking to move that B+ to an A- or A- to an A, they have resources available. You can work with faculty and staff members. You can work with upper division students to get the support that you need from your department specifically. In addition to that, there's general university help centers like the Math and Stats Center, the MSC, and the Writing Center. So if you're in a math class that you need some additional help with, you can go into the Math and Stats Center and you can work with a peer advisor or a peer tutor, and they can help you be as best as you can possibly be in whatever math class that you're in. They're advisors and student peers that will be designed or designated to specific math classes. So it's not somebody who is just kind of looking at your homework and unfamiliar with it, but they're familiar with what courses that you're in, what professors are teaching those courses, and how best to advise you moving forward. Same with the Writing Center. If you need a professional revision on a paper that you're writing, if you need an editing process or just a brainstorming process, you can set up an appointment with the Writing Center to sit down with somebody and go through everything from top to bottom to make sure that the work that you're completing and creating is the very best that it can be. And then the last thing from my own experience, I want to mention professors' office hours. It's an administrative policy at Montana State University that every professor teaching at least one course during the semester is required to have posted office hours. So this is time that you as a student know that your professor is going to be in their office. Go knock on the door and ask questions about, hey, when I was in lecture yesterday, I was sort of lost when we were talking about X, Y, or Z. Can we talk about that in a one-on-one setting? Or can you help me understand the homework assignment a little bit better? And so it helps build that relationship with your professors. And that relationship is huge, not just as an entering freshman student, but a lot of times your professors can be letters of recommendation for you upon graduation as you're looking for graduate schools or employment opportunities. And so from my own experience, again, I cannot stress enough how much I encourage entering students to utilize office hours, get to know your professors, build a relationship with them, and that will help them help you succeed academically. The other thing that I wanted to mention in specific is the Alan Yarnell Center for Student Success. The Center for Student Success, everything that they do is in the name. It's helping you succeed academically and as you move forward throughout your whole university experience and college career. On the academic side of things, one of the models that they have in place is called Smarty Cats tutoring. This is a peer tutoring model. We know that a lot of times students might not be comfortable going and knocking on that door of their professor or going and pursuing a professional tutor. They would much rather work with somebody who maybe is an upper division student or has been in the classroom before. Smarty Cats tutoring is an opportunity for students to work with upper division students who have been identified as being proficient in an area of study and utilize their skills and resources in a more informal environment. They offer drop-in and group tutoring, both of which options are free, and you can set up an individual tutoring appointment as well, which only costs $2 an hour. The structure of that is that if you are a Smarty Cats tutor, you still get paid, but it's not the student that's paying you, it's the Alan Yarnell Center for Student Success. Students only have to pay $2 per hour, so it's hugely subsidized individual tutoring, again, with people who have passed the classes, taken those courses, and proven proficient in any area of study. And if you look at those numbers up top, 385 courses in 70 different areas of study. This is a huge net in terms of how we can help on a peer level support you academically. If you have any questions about Smarty Cats, I've posted their email address on the screen there where you can reach out and get more information. And then towards the tail end of your college career, Alan Yarnell Center for Student Success will also provide support for success advising, career coaching, and the Office of Financial Education, which helps students understand financial literacy and how to go about confirming your bill, accepting scholarships, applying for financial aid, and so much more. So the Alan Yarnell Center for Student Success is such a huge cornerstone of your experience at Montana State. So I know I've covered a lot tonight, and I hope at least, I've given you some things to think about that you might want to learn some more about. And if that is the case, we would love to continue this conversation in this relationship. We'd love to have you come and visit us if you're able to, but we do both virtual and in-person visit opportunities. And so if you do have an opportunity to come to Bozeman, if you go to that website that's listed at the top of the screen there, montana.edu/visit, you can fill out a visit request form. Tell us what you want to do on your day. We'll get you on a campus tour. You can meet with an admissions counselor. You can meet with an academic department and see residence halls. We will tailor fit an individual visit experience that's best for you. We also do those things virtually. We know that not every family and not every student has the opportunity to come all the way to Bozeman. It's not an easy place to get to. So if you want to set up a virtual meeting, you can sit and have a virtual one-on-one with somebody like myself or one of our admissions counselors. We can set up a virtual meeting to meet with an academic department. We have a wonderful virtual campus tour. And so however we can connect with you, we want to keep in touch. We want to continue your interest in Montana State University moving forward. And then the group visit opportunities are listed there at the very bottom of the page, MSU Fridays. We have 4 MSU Fridays coming up this spring semester, and these are our large-scale preview days that provide a lot of the same resources and experiences as an individual visit experience, but just on a larger scale. They usually have a couple hundred students and family members that will be here, sample classes, facility tours, and everything else. And so if you're at all interested, again, you can go to that URL at the top of the page and learn more about virtual, in-person individualized, or MSU Friday visit experiences. Talking about virtual opportunities, I also wanted to plug the rest of our spring webinar series. We have 4 further webinars that are going to come up throughout the spring semester in February, March, April, and May. For those of you students who have already applied and been accepted and ready to take that next step towards enrolling at Montana State, I would wholeheartedly encourage you to tune in to our webinar that's going to be on February 22nd, which is our countdown to orientation. And that's where our Director of Orientation is going to detail our new student orientation programming, the onboarding process, and that transition process from being a high school student to a Montana State University student, how you register for classes, that initial meeting with the academic advisor that I met. So if you're interested at all in that, it's going to be coming up on February 22nd. 1 month later, on March 22nd, we're going to have some of our students interact with you. We have wonderful students that work in our office, and we're going to tap in on some of them so that you can hear from them about what their experiences are, what clubs and organizations they're involved with, what degree programs they're pursuing, how did they get active on campus, and truly what helped them choose Montana State University. And so we're going to hand the reins over to our students on March 22nd and allow you to ask them questions and interact with these current students that we have that are truly all-stars for us. On the 26th of April, we're going to have our parent and family webinar. Now for the students, you're tuned out on this one. This one isn't for you. This is for our parent and family members. We have a Bobcat Parent and Family program that's a partnership between the Alumni Foundation and our Dean of Students office. And they are calling in some of the current members of the Bobcat Parent and Family program to serve as panelists. So just as the students got to ask current students their questions, parents, you get to do the same thing. These are parent and family members of current MSU students so that you can ask them what their experiences have been and how their engagement has been with the university and how they found their comfort zone through Montana State. And then last but not least, as you've really drawn in and made your final college decision, on May 10th, we're going to be doing an admitted student celebration. This is aimed at being less informational and more celebrational. Once you've chosen that Montana State University is your place and this is where you want to come to college, we do these celebrations, and this is where we'll give out prizes, we'll do trivia, we'll have you in breakout rooms where you get to interact with students from your areas of study or possibly your residence hall. We want you to start to get to know each other and build community before you even get here. And so that Wednesday, May 10th, the admitted student celebration, once you've narrowed in your search and decided that MSU is the place for you, this is when we're going to celebrate you. This is when we are going to kind of thank you for the entire process throughout your college search and your college decision process, and tell you how excited we are to welcome you to campus as an MSU Bobcat. So the same URL that was on one of our very first slides is there at the bottom, the montana.edu admissions webinar website. This is where you can register for any of our upcoming webinars and look at the recordings from all of our previous offerings as well. So with that, before we turn it over to our Q&A session, I just wanted to encourage you all and let you know our door is open. Our lines are open. I want you to keep in touch with me. This is my direct contact information with my email address, my phone number here in the office. You can find us on our website. You can find us on social media. But we do want to keep in touch with you as much as possible. Ask us your questions. Let us know how we can help you as you navigate the final steps of your college search so that you can make sure that you're making that most informed decision possible. So this is me, and then on the next slide, this is our office. If you ever need anything from us, we are available for you. Our wonderful admissions counselors who have been helping with your chat questions, they're here for you. Shoot them an email, give us a phone call, and we're happy to help however we can. So now with that, we have a Google Doc running of some of the questions that have come in throughout the chat this evening, and I want to take some time to answer a couple of those, and so I will run through some of the most popular ones that we've had. So let's see, one of the first questions, how big are the classes? So I mentioned earlier, our average class size at Montana State University as a whole is 30 students in the classroom. Now, our engineering students a couple of years ago, they did an audit, and what they were looking into was what's the average class size of entering freshman classes. A lot of places, your 100 level or your entry level classes do tend to be pretty significantly bigger than the rest of your university experience, your academic experience. Our entering freshman level class size average is only 40 students. And so again, it's that pretty tight-knit academic community that we have here at Montana State University that ensures your successes. So Oh, the other thing that I wanted to mention, largest class that we offer, the single largest classroom that we have at Montana State University is only 300 students. And so if you're in that intro chemistry class that's taught in that 300-person lecture hall, your lab session is going to be a group of 15 to 20 students, again, that more individualized experience overall. So, Zach, I saw your question come in. Zachary, what percentage of classes are taught by grad assistants? That's a great question. So our student to faculty ratio at Montana State University for this year is 18 to 1. And numbers are never the most exciting thing to hear about, but what an 18 to 1 figure shows you is that more than 90% of the classes that we offer at Montana State University are instructed by our faculty members. If you look at the university as a whole, we have about 2,000 graduate students at Montana State, and so we just don't have that many students to utilize in terms of instructional purposes, and that's truly not what we want to do. We want you in the hands of instructors who designed your curriculum. They've probably worked in your field. They've done research experiences in your area of study. That's who you're being instructed by every single day. So more than 90% of the classes are taught by faculty member, and generally speaking, a teacher's assistant or a graduate assistant would be utilized for some of the smaller classroom, more discussion-based experiences, not the instructional experiences. That's a great question. Thank you for that. Let's see, some other questions that have come in. Can I double major? Yes, you can double major at Montana State University. You can't double major right from the very get-go. So this is kind of what's interesting. Students that are pursuing a double major at Montana State University, you can begin taking coursework in your second area of study right from the very get-go. But in terms of your declared major, you can't declare a second major until you're a sophomore at Montana State University. We really want you to have a primary focus to ensure that your academic career gets off on the right foot from the very get-go with that sole focus first and foremost. And then as a sophomore student, you can declare that second major and really bulk up on the courses that would be required. So it doesn't matter what areas of study, you can mix colleges, you can mix departments and degree programs, but you just can't have a declared second major until your sophomore year. Let's see, what else have we had come in? Oh, had a question about advanced placement or international baccalaureate courses. So I know many students out there have probably taken some advanced placement courses or international baccalaureate courses. We do accept those. For international baccalaureate students, you need to score a 4 or higher on your IB exam. And for AP students, you need to score a 3 or higher on your AP exam. Have those scores sent to the university, and those will count for college credit. And so for my admissions counselors that are on here, if those of you who are manning the chat wouldn't mind throwing in the links for AP and IB worksheets, we have some worksheets that'll specifically show you how those credits and how those AP or IB courses will benefit you at the university and which of our courses they count for. Let's see, when can I register for my classes? So I'm going to do a quick plug backwards to that February 22nd Countdown to Orientation webinar. That's where we'll actually talk to you about the registration process for your courses. You register for classes at orientation. That's the first time that you'll meet with your academic advisor. They'll help you structure your first semester of courses, and then we'll help you go through that registration process. So it won't happen until orientation this summer. But you will have that opportunity to register for classes before classes start in August. Let's see what else has come in. I didn't see communications listed as a major option. Does MSU offer communications? Not specifically. We do not have a communications degree. For students that enter into the university that are interested in a communications field, interestingly, what we encourage them to look into is our business program. If you think about what the model of business is, it's communications based. It's large and small group facilitation. It's communications processes with your clientele and your investors. So most of the structure of a communications program, we encourage students to look into our College of Business as the closest option that we have. That's a great question. So let's see. Can students take Gallatin College classes or add on a Gallatin College program? Yes. So we didn't specifically detail Gallatin College in this session, but for those of you who might not be familiar, Gallatin College is essentially Montana State University and Bozeman's community college. It offers 1- and 2-year certificate programs in workforce development type programs, things like aviation, welding, bookkeeping, medical assistant programs along those lines. And the relationship between Montana State University and Gallatin College is sort of an interesting one. If you are applied and accepted as a Montana State University student, you are able to take any Gallatin College courses that you might be interested in. If you are accepted specifically as a Gallatin College student, you're not able to take Montana State University courses. And so this is another thing that we do a little bit differently. We do what's called flat rate tuition, which means that once a student is enrolled in 12 credits, which is full-time standing, you've maxed yourself out in terms of your bill. You can't pay anymore. And so with the Gallatin College opportunities, what we see some students choose to do is they'll take 12 credits through their degree program, their 4-year degree option through Montana State, and then you can take a Gallatin College course or two on top of that and not be charged anything for it. Well, again, once you reach that 12 credits and being a full-time student, that means that you can't pay anymore. And so at that point, you're essentially getting free education or free credit. So that relationship is a pretty tight-knit one. Those classes, those buildings, those courses are all instructed on our campus. Their building is on our campus with a few minor exceptions like aviation. So let's see, are students typically graduating in 4 years? That's a great question. Every single one of our degree programs at Montana State University is structured and designed as a 4-year degree program. And so if it is your motivation to graduate in 4 years, that is something that Montana State University can guarantee that you can do. We don't have any impacted majors or majors that work on a wait list. And so when a student gets here, we have a clear 4-year or 8-semester path towards degree. Now, not every student does that. Some students will take a semester off to work and save money, or some students will take a gap year. Some students will get very far along in their major before changing it and have to backtrack a little bit. So I can't tell you that every single student graduates in 4 years, but I was actually looking at the website for our Office of Planning and Analysis earlier today, and the Department of Education at the federal level, they use a 6-year graduation rate to identify kind of the success rates of colleges and universities. Montana State University's 6-year graduation rate is 56%, which is right along the national average. However, if you look at universities nationwide that have an open admissions policy, which largely Montana State University does, their 6-year graduation rates usually hover somewhere in the upper 30s, and we're at that 56%. And so we want to make sure that students are progressing at the pace that they're comfortable with. I didn't even declare a major until I was going into my junior year at Montana State, but I still graduated in 4 years. So you can take me at my word. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise you that. So let's see. Any other questions that came in? Can a student change their major before enrolling in classes? Yes, absolutely. So for many of you who applied maybe in the summer or in the early fall, maybe your academic interests have changed since you submitted that application. You are able to change your major. And it's actually best to do so before you register for your orientation program. And so you can contact our office. Again, our contact information is right up here on the screen. If you contact our office, we can get you in touch with your application evaluator. Those are the individuals that really oversee your entire student record from application to submitting your final transcripts once you graduate from high school. They're kind of the keepers of your student record, and that's a really quick switch that we can do here in our office. So if you contact us, we'll get you in touch with the right person. We can make that quick change so that you're in the desired degree program that you're most interested in. That's a great question. Let's see, any last questions here? Is there a path for incoming first-time college students with their AA or their associates being earned with high school graduation? Yes, so with transferring any sort of college credits, such as an associate's degree, it's very similar to what I was saying earlier about the advanced placement or international baccalaureate degrees, or courses, I should say. So you would have your awarding institution send us your transcripts upon completing your AA or your AS, depending on if it's Associates of Arts or Sciences, and then we would build all of those credits into your student record. A lot of times when we see that a student comes in with an associate's of either arts or sciences, credit-wise, you essentially start as a sophomore student. You're starting a semester ahead. Now, all of your degree requirement courses might not have been taken through that associate's program, so you'd still have to take some freshman level courses. But in terms of your overall credit level, you're working a little bit ahead of the game, which provides some more flexibility in terms of maybe you do want to double major or build in a minor or just take that music class that you thought sounded interesting. Coming in with any sort of college credit ahead of time is a really nice benefit. And MSU's policy is that we will accept any college level credit through any accredited institution as long as you pass those courses and you send us your official transcripts. So again, a quick request of the admissions counselors. We have a transfer course equivalency worksheet that would allow a student to see, much like the AP or IB worksheets, exactly how their credits would transfer through their awarding institutions. And so if one of our counselors could put that link in the chat real quick for reference, that would be appreciated. So okay, one of the last questions. What is the timing to hear about acceptance into the Honors College? Also timing for the presidential and other scholarships. That's a great question. So for the presidential scholarship specifically, presidential scholarship, the application deadline was December 3rd in late fall, and they're going through the process of reviewing applications right now. Students who have been selected as interview recipients will be notified that they've been selected in February, and the actual presidential scholarship interviews are going to take place in March. So that's kind of a two-tiered process where first you're selected as an interviewee, and then once your interview process takes place, then you'll be awarded your scholarship after the interviews take place in March. When it comes to the Honors College works on a rolling admissions basis. And so once your academic record is complete with Montana State University and the Office of Admissions, receiving your final high school transcripts, then the Honors College begins to follow up with you to let you know that you've been accepted into their academic discipline specifically. And then when you come out for orientation, you'll have an opportunity to meet with an honors advisor who will help you select your honors courses for your first year. So that kind of takes place later in the spring, but you'll hear about all of that stuff before you register for classes, so that doesn't happen right before classes in the fall. Let's see, any other questions that have come in? I'm not seeing anything. Oh, Max, I just saw your question right here. Where can the application be found? I'm not sure if you're talking about the application for honors, but if you go to montana.edu in the little search bar up in the right-hand corner, if you just type in Honors College, that will bring you to their homepage where you can find the application and the prompts, which again, the application doesn't necessarily close. And so if you're interested in looking into that, you can do so whenever you feel comfortable. So, and then last question that just came in, timing on WUI. We are also, very similarly to the presidential scholarship applications, we're reviewing WUI applications, and our goal here in the Office of Admissions is that WUI recipients or students that have been selected to receive one of the Western Undergraduate Exchange positions, those students will be notified in middle of February. So if you haven't heard yet, that's okay, that you shouldn't have at this point, but our recipients for the Western Undergraduate Exchange program will be notified in February. So. And with that, I'm not seeing any more questions come in, and I've gone over my hour. I took too much of your time, and I apologize for that. But I hope that tonight was helpful. I hope that it kind of helped you get an understanding about the academic opportunities that we have at Montana State University, the academic structure that we work with at the university as a whole, and gave you an opportunity to possibly think about some additional opportunities in degree programs that maybe you hadn't considered before. Maybe you heard about a new college degree program or got familiar with a university studies or an honors college program. So I hope this has been helpful. We will be posting the recording tomorrow. And in the meantime, let us know if you have any questions. You know how to get a hold of us. I sincerely appreciate everybody's time. I hope this was helpful, and we'll look forward to keeping in touch. So thanks for the time, everybody. Y'all take care.